drift fishing for steelhead, fishing egg patterns, beads, bottom bouncing. Down in the lower river, fishing for the fresh fish that just came up out of the lake. The other guy had the fly rod. We're using 8-weight fly rods and medium action spinning rods. Or just bottom bouncing and drift fishing, and it's been going well. Well, I'm Captain Jeff Topp with Mangled Fly. We're out here on the Manistee River today. Beautiful fall morning though.
Oh man.
Too far out? I think that'll go through there. Definitely different than the bottom bounce, right? Oh, that's good one too. Nice job. There you go. Now you're going to switch spots with me. Get its head, it's up.
Oh, yeah.
Fish. Come here.
All right. Beautiful.
There's a good start to the morning.
It's an awesome start. Skipper steelhead.
Yep, that's just a 1-year-old. It's not a full-blown adult yet, but it is coming up here to eat and to spawn. But it's just a smaller one. They call it skipper because it skips around on the downriggers and doesn't trip the downrigger out on Lake Michigan.
All right. It's a good start. Beauty.
You want to hold him?
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. We'll catch more. Yeah. Okay.
Jeez, he's halfway downriver. Nice, Jeff. That's an adult.
All right. So what do you think about 8-10 pounds?
That's 10 for sure.
It's a 10-pound bull.
Good.
Alright. So what did we do? Pick up some other lines?
No, you had 2 beads on.
Oh, I had 7 beads. Okay, give it a break. And we're going to do the release.
Today we were fortunate enough to catch both hens and buck steelhead. The hen's the female, the buck's the male. And the way you differentiate between the two is size of the head. The hens had a stouter, smaller nose, and the male's head comes out forward. And the mandible, their jawline, the buckfish or the male fish, the mandible bone will be back past the eye, behind the eye, and the hens will be in front of the eye. And we get to see both today. You'll see it in the video, and you'll notice right away when they show these fish exactly the difference in the two. It's super obvious. For you. That should be right there.
And this is a
Male. See how
It's
comes
a
back
male.
below
that's
the hen's mouth would stop about there.
All right, great.
Give him a head first shove, he's gonna be a happy boy. Nice job.
Off he goes.
So Colin, this was the fourth river we went down this trip. What do you think of the Manistee River and how did it compare to the other ones we were on?
I found it to be perfect for the end of our trip because it was just as wild as the other rivers we've been on. And that was kind of the goal of this whole thing, was to get out into the wilderness and go with people who knew the water so that we could have success and use the right materials right out of the gate. I don't know anything about steelhead fishing other than the one time I went in Ohio a couple of years ago. So calling Jeff Topp and Mangled Fly Outfitters introduced us to Jeff Topp. Jeff Topp knows these waters as well as anybody, and it proved out today. You know, we caught 6 fish. Yours were bigger than mine, and that was I couldn't have written the script any better. You know, I was so glad that, you know, after a few days of you watching me catch fish, this was your turn, and we had a chance to see the variety of fish in the water in terms of steelhead, both hens and bucks, and Jeff gave us a little intro to that. That was very helpful for me too. His boat, perfectly situated for this river. We didn't need any more of a boat, and we didn't need any less of a boat. Yeah, you know, he's set up for this river just right.
So we didn't have to bring any rigging. Tell us about the rigging that Jeff had for us.
Yeah, well, I was glad that he had a spin rod for you that's been set up, and you know, it's interesting to note that even though we were using 2 different approaches, you were fishing a spinning rod and I was fishing a fly rod, we were both using the same setup with the split shot in the lead and then a bead and a hook trailing about 3 inches behind the bead. That was another surprise. I thought the bead would be more a component of the hook, and he split them apart because of the way that the fish approach and the way that he's had success hooking the fish in the past. Again, fishing with a guide avoids the learning curve for somebody who's visiting for a day or two. And you know, sometimes people ask me about fishing with guides and is it, you know, really necessary? And in a situation like this, it just proved out. It really did. I mean, to catch the kinds of fish we did in the 5 hours that we were on the water with him today, and then the fact that we could complete our day by coming to the camp where we went to as kids, it's a full circle here. And we were lucky to have somebody to, you know, provide us with not only access to the best piece of water, but also to the fact that he had all the gear. Everything but the sandwiches. When I first saw that immature bald eagle, I wasn't sure what it was, and of course he straightened me out on that. And we saw a lot of adult bald eagles, but they were with us all day. And that was really another, you know, wonderful component. We were in the wilderness. I mean, you know, I would imagine there's a half a mile at least on each side of that river in some areas that we were going through that was untouched by man's hand for a very long time. So Manistee worked out for us today, and coming to Camp Tacebo was a perfect way to finish it all.
And when was it that you were at Camp Tacebo?
1970. I think 1969 and 1970 for me and 1970 for you. And we learned a lot about the lakefront here, how to fish, how to swim, in open water, how to boat in open water. All of these things were, I had a basic understanding of them, but it's a component of my wanting to go out and fish today at the age, 50 years later, here we are adventuring in the woods again. It's been a great outing.